I'm like really hungry right now as of the time I'm recording this. So the conversation might turn to food. I I hope not. But, there you go. But as hungry as I am for food, what I'm really starving for is more X-Men. And I would like to start with more Wolverine and the X-Men. Because this show was fantastic. It, not even just, the Fantastic Four don't ever appear or anything, and unfortunately, it's quite, like, standalone. Supposedly, this cartoon is also connected to, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but it really doesn't feel like it is. So I'm gonna have to check the validity of that when I finish watching it. Currently, I'm watching Ultimate Spider-Man and Avengers Assemble, and then when I'm done with X-Men Evolution, I'm gonna watch Hulk and the Agents of Smash, as well as Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So, my schedule is, I'm trying to just not necessarily speed through all of these shows because I'm enjoying them and I want to continue enjoying them. But I'm certainly trying to knock off a bunch of stuff off my list of, cartoons I've never seen before that fit my interests anyways. I like Tom and Jerry, but I'm not exactly, like, in a binging mood for Tom and Jerry. So, however, the Wolverine and the X-Men, that's, like, really good. It starts off, like, incredibly promising, and it ends off very disappointingly. And you guys might have liked the ending of season 1 or whatever, but I hate it. I absolutely detest it. You want to know why? It's a cliffhanger, and there's no season 2. You have an evil Cyclops that only has one eye, you have Mr. Sinister, you have Apocalypse trying to take over the future. That should be cool. But the fact that I know I'm never going to get to see the resolution, it's not. So, But anyways, I've told you, the end. Let's start back from the beginning. So, you have Wolverine, who's sort of on his own. You have Wolverine, who's sort of on his own. You hear about them trying to prosecute mutants and whatever in the X-Men movies, but we never really see it, with the exception of Days of Future Past, which, so, I believe the only movies I can think of that they actually show it are in X2. It's referenced in X1 that, the people don't really like mutants, but X2, instead of telling you about it, it shows you. Hold on, guys, brief interruption. And my washer was loud as hell. Yet another brief interruption, and now there's a lot of loud banging. I have no idea what's going on. Y'all hear that, right? Okay, maybe I can finally get back to my video. So, Wolverine and the X-Men, what the fuck was I going on about? Wolverine is on his own. So, prosecution. I believe the only movies you actually see this in are X2, Days of Future Past, I believe there's a little bit of it in X-Men Origins Wolverine. And Oh, it's referenced in Deadpool 2, I think. That's 4 movies. All of these movies revolve around the idea, but only 4 movies actually show the idea. So I liked what we saw in this show, where Wolverine is being hunted down by the MRD, Mutant Registration Department, and we see that he's not the only one. But even after Wolverine saves this little girl, they call the MRD on him. And the MRD go to arrest and probably torture him. However, this family, the one that's the little girl he saved, the family is captured instead because they were harboring him, trying to protect him from the MRD. So they were harboring him, and when he escaped their reach, they took the family instead. Something Wolverine didn't think would happen. And they tortured them. So now we see how ruthless these people are in their ultimate goal, which no one really cares about. No one except for Senator Kelly, of course, because he's a fucking moron. So Senator Kelly, he builds this weird scorpion thing, which is apparently a sentinel. They build a bunch of proto-sentinels before they settle on which design they should actually use. Or maybe the design they use is created by the Master Mold. Who knows? Because the Master Mold is not a giant sentinel in this version. The Master Mold is an AI that decided, screw all, and now it only abides by its own rules. The plot of this movie is basically Terminator. This isn't a movie. Shit. The plot of this show is basically Terminator. Mankind builds machines for whatever reason, and that starts a war between man and robots. And now there's a third party, mutants. But the first party gets completely obliterated by the robots, because the mutants are just trying to survive, so they're not even messing with the humans. And now the Sentinels are attacking mutants, and now there are only so many mutants left alive in this world. So, there are these weird xenomorph mutants, or xenomorph Sentinels, that they spit acid, I believe. That could be wrong on that one. I can't remember. It's been a while. But they spit acid. And, they heal themselves like Wolverine, and they have his claws. Also, X-23 is in this show. She was created for X-Men Evolution, which I'm watching now, because I was like, yeah. But, she appears in Wolverine and the X-Men, so, that's kind of neat. And, she has, she appeared, there's, a lot of her in this show, and and she only appears in 2 episodes, and she doesn't have any lines, and she doesn't do a whole lot. So, how is that a lot of her? Well, that inherently isn't. But there are 5 copies of her just roaming around, just doing whatever in the future. So that's weird. And then basically in present day, Wolverine's trying to rebuild the X-Men, and then they find Magneto on Genosha, and for some reason he's in possession of Charles Xavier's body, I guess. The dude's not dead, but he's like a vegetable. There's no brain activity in there. And then he starts talking to people telepathically. And so everyone's like, are you, like, alive in there? Are you talking to us? There's no brain activity. And so he's like, correct. And I won't wake up for another 20 years. And that's where I am now. And so then they're like, wait, you're talking to us from the future? How the fuck is that possible? And he's like, reasons, I guess. So. But, then, so Wolverine is working with Beast in the past, and then they go to recruit Cyclops, and Cyclops is too depressed because Jean is dead, apparently, and I was like, what the fuck? And so, since Jean's dead, Cyclops is just like, no, we're not doing it today. And then Wolverine is like, so what? Because Jean's gone, there's no one worth protecting in this world. And then Cyclops zaps Wolverine through the wall. Just like, fuck off. Wolverine still doesn't get the message, but he fucks off for like 5 seconds. So Wolverine goes to get Rogue, and Rogue is working with the Brotherhood of Mutants. I mean, that's the TLDR version of Rogue's story in this show. But then Nightcrawler is still doing X-Men-like things, but he's not really an X-Men and won't be for quite a while. And Storm was mind-controlled by something. So, Wolverine's assembling the team. Shadowcat and Iceman come easy, but everyone else... Everyone else is, like, really hard to come by, Jean has amnesia, so she's out of, But she's not dead. In fact, the event that seemingly killed Charles Xavier and Jean Grey was caused by her in a response to Emma Frost's evil plan. And Emma Frost's the only one who can save the future since she fucked up so badly by unleashing the Phoenix Force. Like, if Jean would just not have opened those mental barriers, nothing would have happened. I don't know how Phoenix can be running around and... Like, what happened to Jean in the future? That's never addressed. Why can Charles talk to people from the future? Also, never addressed. Like, what the fuck is going on? The show's kind of weird, honestly. But, it's fucking awesome, so... This fucking washer, man. Alright, so, the future... Stuff's just not explained in the future. But, yeah, think a combination of Mad Max and, Terminator. I guess Mad Max is really known for the car stuff, but take the cars out of the equation, and this is those two things mixed into one, and then combined with X-Men characters. So, yeah. But there's a lot of different Sentinels that I think would be really cool for Marvel vs. Capcom, or another game like it. In Ultimate Alliance 3, all of the Sentinels sort of blended together. But yeah, if they took some of those designs, that would have been crazy cool. And so, then you have, Dude. The Sentinels are stealing mutant powers, which is why the Xenomorph one has Wolverine's claws and healing factor. Because Wolverine got himself captured. Also, the future is changing whenever Charles Xavier gets the X-Men to do something. But for some reason, everyone is aware that the future is changing. And everyone is aware when the future has changed, and they are not affected by it, which really confuses me. That aside, the when we get over to the Emma Frost stuff, because she's been pestering Logan the whole time about trust, and so she's one who doomed the future. Like, sure, Kelly and Magneto towards the end of the show, like, they agree to stop going to war with each other, but then Magneto goes and he fucking sacrifices his people to start war with the humans. It actually paralleled a lot of conspiracy, like government conspiracies that have been proven true, have been proven accurately. Not anything like Operation Paperclip, which is probably the most obvious, but there's the Vietnam War, I think it was. I could be wrong, but they planned out terrorist attacks, blamed it on the Vietnamese, and then went to fucking war. Honestly, and then going. That's sort of what Magneto tried to do. Is he tried to start war with mankind by having those Sentinels come and kill a bunch of mutants. Kill or injure, I don't know. But yeah, basically Magneto is an asshole and a dick. So don't trust that guy with anything ever. But yeah, he feels the only way to save mutants is to start war. Even fucking though Charles Xavier's like, this war is going to have no winners and you're going to be a dead man. Magneto's like, bluff. So, you know. Then there's let me turn the washer back on now. This washer machine is the regenerating degenerator. But yeah, also characters like Domino pop up on the show, which is weird because I associate that character with Deadpool, not X-Men. Not X-Men, maybe X-Force, but I'm really tired of fucking hearing that washer go off. I got like maybe a sentence in before it would go off. So I'm turning it off, and hopefully permanently. Or at least until I'm done with this video, I mean. But yeah. And we slowly work our way to uncovering some of sort of the mysteries of this universe. One particular highlight is the episode. My mom turned the light off in here. So, the one particular highlight is Wolverine versus Hulk. So supposedly, this universe that is made up of Hulk versus Wolverine this universe that is made up of Wolverine and the X-Men is also made up of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes and the Hulk versus movies. Hulk versus Thor and Hulk versus Wolverine. So supposedly this Hulk is the exact same one from Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and that's weird to me. This doesn't really seem to check at all. Like, these all... I haven't watched Hulk versus Wolverine yet, but I've watched Hulk versus Thor, and it's just, it doesn't feel like it fits at all. So I really don't know if I call this a universe, but I'm looking into it, man. I'm looking into it. Anyways, Hulk versus Wolverine was one of my favorite episodes. It just blew my mind that I'd watched this before, and I still remembered this episode, almost beat for beat. But back then, it blew my mind because I was like, wait, I'm watching an X-Men show, and yet here's Hulk. What? I just couldn't process what was happening. I believe Captain America and Red Skull actually appear in X-Men Evolution. And so that was along the same lines as, like, this completely blew my fucking mind. And so yeah, that was a perfect, really good highlight. Like, because I was watching Captain America, First Avenger, and I was watching X2, I think, at the time. You know, I was just watching a bunch of movies that I really liked. And so then I'm watching X-Men Evolution because, hey, it's on Netflix at the time. Right now it's on Disney+, but it was on Netflix at the time. And so I was like, yo, that's fucking awesome. I know that guy, and I know that guy, and I never knew that the two would be in the same world. I mean, and that episode is the very reason that I've been wanting a Wolverine and Captain America team-up movie. Again, preferably Hugh Jackman and Chris Evans, but they're both done with their characters. So, no, I guess. And I don't want them to do that in the MCU if they're just going to have another Wolverine later. But, somewhere in the multiverse, I imagine that this crossover movie happened. So, I'll just travel to Earth 2 later. But yeah, this it just blew my fucking mind. Okay, I'm actually getting really hungry, so I might have to cut this short. But the ending of this episode, like I touched on earlier, they finally stopped the mutant robot human war, and Charles Xavier's like, don't hold your breath, though. This future still seems kind of fucked up. So now he's going to help them through season 2. And I was like, this is interesting. It's like Arrow's first 5 seasons, how it has like 2 stories going on at once. You have the story of Oliver's, like, what happened to him on the island, and all the stuff 5 years ago. And then you have present day, and it's like sort of how he's starting off as a hero. And so this, you have present day, and everything seems fine-ish. Not a perfect world, but it's manageable. But it all leads to this terrible future that Charles is in. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, little tangent here. I've had to deal with so much fucking paperwork today, and on top of that, Zach has been in an honorary mood all fucking day. I don't even know how we're all gonna manage when I'm out doing my job, because I'm hired at McAllister's. And that's what I just had to go deal with, is Zach putting up a fucking fight over literally fucking nothing. So what? He heard the fucking garbage disposal. It's an everyday thing. Get the fuck over it. So, I'm gonna pause this recording here, and I will try to get back to it when I'm in a better state of mind. So, for now, goodbye. Alright. I think I'm better. I think I'm focused. Took a few drinks of water. A few deep breaths. I think I'm good. Water's not particularly appetizing. I prefer to fucking soda, but whatever. Also, I'm still hungry. Whatever. Now, where was I even? Basically, I don't know where I was. I'm just going to have to do the abridged version of it. Basically, so I talked about, the X-Men forming, talked about the Hulk versus Wolverine, I talked about all that other stuff. I think right around where I was the whole Emma Frost fucking up the future thing. She's working for this cult who wants to harness the power of the Phoenix Force so that way they can take over the world or some shit. And so, oh fuck, that might have been the explanation for where Jean was and what the Phoenix was doing, is because he just decided to fuck off. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense though. But anyways, they wanted to harness the power of the Phoenix Force to take over the world, and that, along with the Sentinels and mutants and humans, and they fucked the future, honestly. And so, Emma Frost tries to fix her mistake by killing the Phoenix Force. So they get Jean to transfer the TLDR. They get Jean to transfer the Phoenix Force into Emma Frost, and then for some reason that causes Emma Frost to explode. So now Emma's dead, and the Phoenix Force is dead, and that leads this new altered future somehow leads to the Age of Apocalypse. I don't totally get that. I'm sure this would have been explained in Season 2, but there ain't no fucking Season 2.
Battle without limits.
I think if... I want to give this show a 9 out of 10, but I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10 because it sets up a cliffhanger that has no resolution. There's nothing. There's no comic book tie-in. There's no video game tie-in. I mean, Young Justice had a video game tie-in. There's nothing. Zip. I wonder if in Season 2, though, they'd have had more Marvel characters. You had Hulk and Nick Fury in the one episode. Like, would you have seen Iron Man or Captain America in the one after that?
We are invincible. Who will come out on top?
Wow. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm really pissy about the lack of a resolution, but I think I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 anyways. So, yeah, I really loved this show. I loved what it did with, how it handled the future and the past. No, there wasn't really any past. How it handled the future and present day. Really like how we got to see the X-Men symbol once more. Like how in Avengers, the game, not the movie, the Avengers were together for a while, but then a bunch of different things caused them to split up. And so you have to watch them reassemble. Well, you don't really watch them reassemble. As Kamala Khan, you helped him to reassemble, and so yeah, it's fantastic. I think this is probably the best X-Men show ever. Although Evolution is no. Evolution is good, but it's not Wolverine and the X-Men good. However, I'm pretty sure Evolution ends on a cliffhanger too. I can't remember what said cliffhanger was. I think it involved Captain America.
For justice,
But
I will fight.
being that it ends on a cliffhanger, hopefully both these shows can get renewed on Disney Plus. You saw DC Universe's big move. Like, I remember, because we were going to Athens to drop off some stuff for my cousins, I think, and as we were driving home, I was watching Young Justice on Netflix, and then I pull up YouTube after taking a quick little nap, and they announced that Young Justice season 3 is happening. They don't announce where or how, they just announce it, and then like fucking all of a sudden after like, I don't know, 2 months I think, DC's like, we're starting a streaming service. And then they're like, Young Justice season 3, that's where that's going. And I was like, holy fuck, people have been wanting this for a while, it's finally happening. But I just guess there wasn't as much of a push for Wolverine and the X-Men or X-Men Evolution. But if DC Universe's opening move was to renew that show, and season 3 has been awesome so far. I haven't finished it. The season, these next seasons of these shows, if these shows were renewed on Disney Plus, that would make money, right? And I don't think it would be as expensive as something like WandaVision, The Mandalorian, or anything like that. I mean, fuck it, Marvel's What If would probably be more expensive. So these two shows getting an extra season or two, which admittedly I couldn't pay for those seasons, but I think Disney could, and I think they'd make a lot more back if they did. I mean, look, all Disney has to do is start a campaign to drive interest in it. I think all they gotta do is start a campaign and be like, if they advertise what's on Disney Plus and they're like, Wolverine and the X-Men, X-Men Evolution, and then, people are like, oh hey, I used to love those shows. And so then Disney is just like, at the end of their little thing, they're like, but hey, no new seasons, what's up with that? Or like, no resolutions to cliffhangers, what's up with that? And so, then Disney, it just is like, new seasons coming out, boom, boom. You have to do something to make sure interest is still alive in those universes. So you do like X-Men Evolution, the movie, a quick one and done, basically direct to video kind of thing. It's like not uber expensive to produce, it's not uber expensive to purchase or anything like that. You just see it on your feed one day, There are a bunch of things that they could do to see if people are still interested in this. I prefer something with a little bit more quality if that's what they're going to do, but what they can do is just they can see about X-Men Evolution later, but Wolverine and the X-Men, they just make a movie, and in that movie, seems like it's going to solve the whole Age of Apocalypse cliffhanger, but then it doesn't, and it's like, wait for more, or like more coming soon, and they just make a new season of that show. Alright, I had to change recording room. The acoustics are different in here. Uh, so they released a movie. Do it Dragon Ball, like, cause dude, Dragon Ball, Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F were to see if there was enough interest in Dragon Ball to resume where they left off. And I mean, they left off in a, well, not really resume because it's more of a prequel to GT. But, they were like, can we fill in that 10-year gap and would people be interested in that? So then, hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. And again, apparently. Yeah. So the you just see where they want you to. Disney just needs to see if people are interested in it. Because man, I want new seasons of both these shows. These are great. And I mean, this isn't DC Universe, so you can't really up the maturity. But I would appreciate a change in tone from X-Men Evolution. That show got a little whack at times. And the writing was terrible at times. But Wolverine and the X-Men? You keep that exactly the same. And I will love you for it. I want more of the same. And you try to innovate in new areas, but tonally, writing-wise, and story-wise, it just fucking works. It just fucking works, okay? Guys, it just fucking works. So whereas X-Men Evolution, I think it's a more traditional X-Men show. Like, it's ripped from the comics and from the movies, and they took this and they took that, and they made it into a cartoon. But X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men, its first season so far, and only season, story-wise, is just... It's based on Days of Future Past. It doesn't feel like as Days of Future Past-y as the movie, even though that one went off in a few areas. But it's like loose. You got the Sentinels and stuff, but I don't think the Sentinels are going to go away either. I think the Sentinels should also stay in use. They shouldn't be one and done. But, and I think it would be really cool if, they found a way to go to the future. Damn it, cat. I think it would be really cool if they found a way to go to the future and help out Charles and whatever with this new Age of Apocalypse, I suppose. But yeah, there are a few things that bother me about this show. All in all, though, 9 out of 10. And please give me more. Season 2 win. Michael Davis, signing out.
The truth is, you could never accept that I'm better than you. You're a failure, Otto, and you always will be.
Give me the anti-serum! Otto, you've worked your whole life to help people. Please. You're fighting the wrong man. But have it your way. We don't have much time! Please!
I'll turn over the anti-serum when Osborn pays for his crimes!
Just give me the anti-serum! You've already done enough to ruin Osborn!
No! He always bounces back! He had to lose everything! I see you have a new suit! It won't help!
I know your weaknesses!
I have no weaknesses! Enough playing!
Gotta move. People are dying! They need the anti-serum now!
I will cure the city after I bring down Osborn!
Let me save the city! Then we can do whatever you want!
I already know what I want! Now get out of my way before I really hurt you!
Give me the anti-serum, and I promise Osborn will face charges!
Liar! Just like Osborn! Nothing but lies!
What happened to the man who wanted to help people?
The weakling? The loser? He's gone! Enough of this! What are you...
So, while this story has nothing to do with the X-Men, I think this is why the X-Men resonate with me so much. Resignate, I don't fucking know anymore. But, yeah, so... It's also partially why I found mutations and just genetic abnormalities so intriguing. Um, but basically, no dancing around it, I guess. I'm autistic. I guess I've mentioned this before, but in this context, it just feels weird. So, I grew up with my parents, thankfully, being really good about it. But I grew up in an environment where being autistic was, I mean, they act like it's your fault. And I guess some of it kind of was. Admittedly, I went a little too far. Um, so I never lit anything on fire, but as it's been known, I have a fascination with fire, which was alarming for a while. Now no one really cares because it's not like I'm doing anything. I mean, yeah, occasionally, you know, we get into a safe environment and, I play around a little bit. A bit more than I should, right? But no one's at risk of anything. It's generally just like, all right, we're making a campfire or something like that, right? Only instead of backing up from the flame, I'm, looking at it a bit more intently. So it's nothing dangerous, right? I like fire. That's my thing. Uh, but when I was 5, and I have no memory of this, um, but due to Facebook posts and just other things on the internet that my mom posted, um, I when I was in school, I was in. Keep in mind, at this point, I was in pre-K or preschool or kindergarten. I don't know which, but um, I took scissors and I went around cutting some girls' hair, um, and running around some girls, as in plural, not like it was the girl's hair. I plural, okay, plural. So yeah, that's pretty bad, right? Um, I believe the teachers knew what it was with me, and so they said that the girls were cutting the girls' hair. They were cutting each other's hair specifically. So I got a good cover. Uh, but like I was trying to say earlier, I grew up in an environment where if you were autistic, it was your fault. You know, you had Autism Speaks being like, well, don't worry, we're developing a cure. And then I was watching X3, and, or maybe not X3, but it was some X-Men, thing, where they're like, we're developing a cure for, being a mutant, these mutations, and whatever. And, that was sort of, I began noticing parallels in my life with X-Men, um, where, I mean, not me specifically, but again, people around me were literally being demonized for it. I did have a um, student I do somewhat remember. Not I didn't have a student. A friend I somewhat remember, who's we'll call him S, and friend is a bit much, but that's what we'll go with. An S, not as stable as I was. And back then, that's saying something. So, he, went around biting people. He bit me once, I think. I vaguely remember him. And clawing at him, or clawing at people.
I can't lend you my bus.
And I mean, what I assume is his dad, basically said some slur that I can't remember, and slapped him across the face. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, I didn't say that back then, but that's how I feel now. And, so yeah. By slur, I'm not saying anything autistic specific, like dipshit, it could have been that, or something like that. And then you see Dr. Phil, an episode of Dr. Phil that just came into my feed. And they're talking about this kid, confirmed autistic by the way, who is, by his own parents, they're literally demonizing him. Right? He said, the father said he'd considered treatment via exorcism. All the while, the kid is exhibiting symptoms that I used to exhibit. But it's getting worse, because not only does he have a condition, he's being treated this way from his parents. I was in not a good environment, but I was in an okay enough environment, and my family has always been great to me. So, seeing the exact same situation I was in, but now it's like, but the parents are not treating it right, is sort of, it gave me deja vu in a weird way, and it felt just wrong. Here's something, like an analogy. So, I'm sure most of you have played Resident Evil 3, if you guys have seen what my channel is. It's a great game, by the way. And, spoilers, okay? There's, a few parts in the game that, when I played them, I thought they were so easy. You know, I thought like, well, there's no possible way you can fuck up, right? And, so I beat Resident Evil 3 4 times, and really nothing changed. I was naturally good at that game, man. Never had any problem. But then, about halfway through, right at the part where Carlos has to defend Jill, and, you know, zombies are breaking in. I probably won't have any footage of this in the background, by the way, so sorry. Zombies are breaking in. I guess I didn't defend Jill well enough, because, I think I set it to a higher difficulty, and, no, there weren't difficulties in that one, were there? I don't remember what the deal was. What the fuck is that? It's a beetle of some sort. I thought it was like a giant fucking spider. So, the, you know, I was like, well, this is fucking easy. So I got careless, and then I did something, I thought, and I died. No, there was a different difficulty. So, I play on normal, but I think I switched it to hardcore. I think that's the other difficulty. And so, when I got to that part, Jill got eaten by a zombie, and I was like, what the fuck? And it felt so wrong. And then right at the end,
Signature we've been searching for.
um,
I've been salvaging weapons.
there's this part where Carlos is being grabbed by Nikolai, and Jill has to shoot Carlos. Not Carlos, Nikolai.
Help out a helicarrier
And
in TLC.
Imagine we can make some arrangements.
if you don't do it right,
Not my idea.
it triggers an alternate cutscene
Tiny dancer.
that feels really similar to the end result, only now you're dead.
So they're all.
And so again, I was like, that feels so wrong. And that's the feeling I got with
Make yourself at home.
um
We've got lots to catch up.
watching this Dr. Phil video. It was just that, you know, it's like it feels like an alternate universe version of myself, but things went very differently.
That would be me. Theo, the portal guy, at your service.
I'm Kamala. Your powers are awesome.
So
Thanks. But you should talk to Sarah.
it's just
Next to the big surveillance screen and is dying to meet you.
it's so hard,
Okay.
you know, seeing that these parents could be so I don't really know what's going on outside of it, but they feel unfit, I will say.
Hey, your Pim's
I don't mean that in a bad way. I think
Did Ames
they can get better. I think at this point
No. I'm kidding.
something's wrong, which probably is why they're on Dr. Phil's. Like, I don't know how to do this, but it was just so wrong watching that.
Hell yeah, we want you on our team. You ever have spare cycles? I've got plenty that needs doing.
And
Okay, here's what I need.
so the thing about the X-Men, the reason I mentioned that earlier is the mutants. I've always related to them a little bit because everywhere I go, well, back then, everywhere I went, it was like,
Seriously?
oh, well, fucking, you're gay. That's a bad thing. You're a fucking lesbian. Get out of here.
Sure thing.
Or you're autistic. You fucking runt. Or you autistic bitch or something like that. You know, it just never felt good. And then there's one episode of X-Men the Animated Series where
You were in San Francisco on A-Day?
Bingo.
I can't remember if it was Jubilee or Rogue,
Rolling around
but
You'll know her when you see her.
someone's talking to the leader of some group. I haven't watched that show in a while, but he's like, so
Exactly what the doctor ordered.
he's like, why don't you go sit at the curb and die, you mutie? And then
Around here are all Pim's pet
they respond with, what did us mutants ever do to you? And then he says, you were born. And that, I was just like, that's what that felt like. You know? I felt like I sort of lived that. Because though no one was ever talking about me, that's always how it felt. Right? You have Autism Speaks being so horrible that, you know, I don't care if anyone says anything about it now. Because honestly, I think one of the things about life is you gotta pick your battles, and it's like, do I really care that someone is calling me an autistic cracker? No, I don't think I do. Which I have been called that before, by the way, so that... But anyways, no, I don't think I do. So, is it really worth punching a guy in the face over? No.
So I assume Stark sent you on this errand.
So,
Back on the Chimera trying to get it right.
you know, it's just, I'm not that bothered by things now, but back then, you know, when I was younger, it made me feel a certain way that not much else did. And not much else still does.
I'm Cerise,
So,
sister. I've got the same powers as my brother.
now you have
At your service.
this, Dr. Phil episode, and I'm like, guys,
So many
it just made me feel more grateful for my parents, honestly, because they were way better. I mean,
San Francisco
they should be. They've had 3 autistic children, but
Were you all captured
you
by
know,
demons?
it,
Not everybody here is even inhuman.
not once did my dad ever act like that.
Others just wanna do
So,
what's right. Which are you?
All of the above.
yeah.
Take a blood sample.
But that's about it. I mean, I still think I've explained why this video resonated with. I had to make a response to this. I know this was probably like 4 fucking years ago. Let me see. Let me look at this shit. 2 years ago, whatever. Why father says he believes 12-year-old son is possessed by demons. Right? A man details events that. Basically, he was saying, he was doing all these weird things, and it
So the more I buy, the
was attributed. You could attribute that to fuck, what was it? That you could attribute it to demons. And I'm like, but that's just shit that I would do. I mean, I don't really understand some of the phrasing of it. Can I record audio if I'm... What's the deal here? Okay, guys, I'm back. I tried to record audio of the Dr. Phil episode to get... to let you guys know what I'm talking about. But my phone doesn't want to do that. So, you just have to... Hopefully I can share the video in the description telling you guys why I had to say all this stuff. But hopefully you guys... Dr. Phil is like a meme now. Like, forever a meme. That's just how that is now. People watch his show as like... some people who are looking for insight, but then you have some people who are just like, this ought to be fun. But, so some people have seen this. But I'm just astounded, fucking astounded at some of this shit. Which is why I just had to say this. So, yeah. People with disabilities, it's not even just autism. Autism is just the big one. They're all demonized, I think, in some way. To the point where... Now, I don't want to say completely.
Can I help you with any of this stuff?
But I did have to be honest about, myself when it came to getting a job. And I think that might be why I wasn't getting hired. So I think that may have had something to do with this, because numerous disabilities on my end. Only 2 mental, but the rest are physical and disabilities nonetheless. So I do think that has something to do with it. But and it's not unfounded. It's to the point that disabilities, at one point, were demonized to the point where they had to make a law about discrimination. Specifically for disabilities, I should say, because, they've had laws about discrimination for a while. For whether it be blacks, Asians, gays, lesbians, bis, trans, disabilities, so I'm not unfounded in saying this. I just think that, mutants in the X-Men series are demonized. I mean, for them, it's to the point where they're fucking being executed by giant robots, and everyone's like, yeah, this is fine. Death to muties. So obviously, there's a bit of that. I'm not saying my life is like fucking X-Men. Go watch X-Men, you understand my life. No. And me, personally, I haven't been discriminated against that much. Okay? But it's not like it just isn't there, and it's not like it just doesn't affect me. I mean, I've been discriminated against just for having the name Michael, but, you know, if there's something someone doesn't like, they will fucking point it out. That's just how humanity is. But, you know, it's, like, very rarely was I ever discriminated against about this. All the same, though, that I think is why the Dr. Phil episode and, you know, just X-Men in general would resonate with me so much. Finally figured out what the proper... Fuck, my stuttering. Also, pretty sure my stuttering is also related to the whole autism thing, but that could just, you know, fuck it. So, yeah, that's just what that resonates with me. So it resonates with me. Fuck. I think I've gone on too long. 21 minutes is not generally the accepted amount of time for this type of video. So, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Click the subscribe button. I can't guarantee I'll have any more personal stories like this one, but, you know, fuck it.
AIM has a set of turbines powering one of their emergency generators. Disable them.
Ethan, it's okay. It's okay, it's me. I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
You shouldn't have done that! It fucking hurts! Now, let's see what you feel. It's my job. Must contain outbreak. Gonna bring, I promise. Must burn it all down.
Okay, fine.
Welcome to the family, son.